I guess we have a little bit of time to talk about Dante Bowe, Maverick City Music. So I've talked about Maverick City Music a little bit on this channel. Their song, one of their songs made it on my top 10 best Christian pop songs list. I feel a little differently about them now as I've changed my mind about a lot of worship since then, because of course Elevation Worship also made it on that list, and I just feel differently about worship music. I'm just over all these overly emotional worship, like just emotionally charged worship music. um, and I guess I could get into what I mean by that. It's just that Hillsong and Elevation, all those kinds of bands just have a lot of dynamics in their music that just kind of comes off as like manipulative, emotionally manipulative, and I just, and of course you're going to find worship music, like all worship music is going to have some elements of that, because like music just by default is emotional. So, but there's just something about Hillsong and Elevation and Maverick City Music, about their music that just, and Bethel music, especially Bethel music, that's just seems more deliberate than like say City of Light or Sovereign Grace music, which is the music that I tend to listen to these days. But anyways, other than that, I haven't really had much against Maverick City Music, except for there's been a few scandals. There's the whole thing with Chandler Moore. I'm pretty sure it was Chandler Moore who was posing with his wife in very like raunchy poses, and it's just like, dude, like I get that you're married and all, but we don't need to see that. That's not very Christ-like. So there was that, and there's also a thing with Maverick City Music about their. Well, I'll get into that. I'll explain the whole situation with Dante Bowe. So Dante Bowe is he was one of the worship leaders from Maverick City Music. He was kind of up there with Chandler Moore as being like the more recognizable leader. And you guys may have heard that he was basically kicked out of Maverick City Music. Kicked out is a strong term, but it's basically what happened. Just for recent behaviors on his, just things that he was posting on social media that brought some people concern. So I'm going to read this from the Christian Post. Dante Bowe releases public apology, vows to recommit to God's purpose for his life. Grammy Award-winning singer Dante Bowe has released a statement apologizing for his behavior after Maverick City Music said they would be pausing their professional relationship with him. In the statement, Bowe said, "I sincerely apologize for the impact of my behavior and that it has offended many people on the platform we share together. This experience has been a very real reminder of the importance of being incredibly intentional with how I utilize and engage with the tools social platforms provide." Unquote. He came under scrutiny after posting a video of himself inside a party bus listening to rapper Bad Bunny, who I understand is a, pretty non-Christian rapper with, very questionable lyrics. And dancing to a song with overtly sexual lyrics. He also raised eyebrows at the Grammys after saying he hoped to see openly gay rapper Lil Nas X perform at the awards show. So basically saying that he hoped to see Lil Nas X. Um, Maverick City Music announced Tuesday that due to behavior that is inconsistent with our core values and beliefs, we have decided to put a pause on our professional relationship with Dante Bowe. Decisions like these are not easy because of the level of nuance, both professionally and personally, but we felt it necessary to address. Following that statement, Bowe temporarily disabled his social media accounts. He reinstated his Instagram account to share the public apology. This platform of success I enjoy is a blessing that is both gifted to me and shared with you, my faith community, family, friends, supporters, and fellow artists, Bowe wrote. Throughout this process, I have received wise counsel which influenced my decision to take a step back and reflect about my actions so that I may recommit to living in the purpose God has for my life. The Goodness of God singer added. Bowe, who has gone from being homeless to a platinum artist, ended his post by saying, I want to say thank you to Maverick City Music for their continued support now and always. Throughout this process, they have remained by my side, and for that, I am truly grateful. Thousands of people have liked and commented on Bowe's Instagram posts, including a supportive comment by Naomi Rain, who wrote, Love you forever. I think Naomi Rain is another Maverick City Music worship leader. But anyways, it kind of goes into like the people that have commented on it, and so I don't really care. But thanks, Christian Post, for that. So that's the whole situation, and I want to say I'm actually kind of pleased with how this whole thing has come about. I think it alludes, it reminds me a lot of the more recent story with Matt Chandler. And these stories are just giving me hope. Considering, like, not too long ago, we were talking about Gavi and that whole situation. And before that, everyone was talking about Ravi Zacharias. And so it just seemed like, man, there just seems to be, like, no accountability here. And now it just seems that, people seem to be taking these things more seriously. And that gives me a lot of hope. I think Maverick City Music made the right decision by putting a pause on their relationship with Dante. And I think Dante had a very healthy response to the whole thing. I'm very proud of him, honestly. I'm so proud of him. Because, like, honestly, anyone else, I feel like, would have just argued and had an attitude about it. But he has a completely healthy response to it. He's not showing any bitterness or anything. And he's actually going to he said that he's going to people in his life that he considers to be wise. Yeah. So I think this is good. This is really good. However, I kind of feel like that this has been a long time coming. This isn't the first time that we've had concerns about Maverick City Music. There have been, well, some of the concerns, are more just a matter of beliefs and such. What's their names? There's a video made by another couple on YouTube that I appreciate. Paul and Morgan. Paul and Morgan have a video on Maverick City Music about some of the concerns that they have, and so I recommend you guys check that out. And that video was made before like a lot of the more recent stuff. I mentioned the whole thing with Chandler Moore and the behavior with his wife. It's a little weird. A lot of people were concerned recently with Kirk Franklin and Maverick City Music being on The Voice and that whole thing. And that's a weird whole thing where they get Whoopi Goldberg to quote unquote worship with them. Whoopi Goldberg is not a Christian. I have confidence in saying that. yeah, just like some of the weird stuff that they said, but maybe some of it was more Kirk Franklin. But anyways, there was that, and also Ruslan KD. He's another YouTuber that I enjoy watching. He talked about the fact that not too long ago, we're talking about Dante Bowe's activity on social media, but Maverick City Music, apparently, how they shared a video of a girl dancing to one of their songs, and this girl is like apparently in a swimsuit, a bikini, and she's like wearing her thong or whatever. And they posted that on their social media, and no one never said anything about it. So there's that. And there's also, like I said, some of these concerns are more of a matter of beliefs. Maverick City Music tend to kind of go in the more woke kind of direction, for lack of a better term. I hate using that term, but it's the one that everyone understands. They tend to lean more towards, critical race theory kind of thinking. They they had a shirt that was celebrating Juneteenth and all the names of people that have apparently been, supposedly killed in police brutality. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to go deep into it. But if you want to know my actual thoughts and beliefs on it, just read this book right here, Fault Lines by Vodi Bakum. You read this and then you'll understand where I come from, my beliefs with that. Anyways, that's just where Maverick City Music tends to stand. And so I have my problems with Maverick City Music, but either way, it's like we've been kind of wanting to see this with other concerns. And so I kind of wish that Maverick City Music had been this accountable a while ago, but either way, I think this was the right decision. I think they need to, be accountable for a lot of the other stuff that has happened involving Maverick City Music, but, all that we can really do, what have I been saying this whole episode, is pray for them. Pray for Dante Bowe. Pray that this is will be a great time for him to get in closer relationship with God and to, be stronger in his convictions. And, just pray that Maverick City Music continues to seek out God's will, excuse me, in their ministry. That's what I really want. That's what I ultimately want. And, what more could you want? So, yeah. That's me talking about what everyone else has already talked about. And I guess that's it. That's all for Dante Bowe for now. We'll see how things go. But anyways.
Hey, so I don't know if you guys know this, but what you just watched was basically just a clip of a full podcast episode of my podcast, The I'm Clifford Today Show. So you should just go check out that whole episode. Also, while you're at it, you might as well like the video and subscribe to my channel. That'd be really nice. I mean, you're nice people, right? Okay.